All right, guys, so now we're going to install some software. Okay, so you want to be logged in as Django admin into your remote droplet. And we want to, first of all, update our packages. Okay, so we're going to say sudo apt. You can do apt-get if you want, but you're now allowed to just do apt. And apt-get, this is our package manager for Ubuntu. And we just want to update. Okay, so we want to update, and then we want to run upgrade, which will actually upgrade the software. This will upgrade the package listings. Then we can upgrade any software that we have. All right, so now let's do upgrade, yes. I just want to have the most up-to-date stuff installed. And the next line here, we're actually installing a bunch of stuff at once. So we're going to install Python 3 pip, Python 3 dev, this dependency here, this lib pq dev, Postgres, and then this Postgres contrib, nginx, and curl. Gunicorn, we're going to do that a little later, and that's going to be used to serve up. And that's installed using pip anyway, but that's going to be used to serve up our application. Okay, so upgrade always takes longer than update. I'm going to actually just copy this line here. Okay, so we want to grab that just for when this is done. We'll go ahead and run it. All right, so if you run into this right here, it's just going to ask about the grub menu, the grub boot menu. So just choose the default. Okay, keep the local version that's currently installed. Okay, so we'll hit enter again. Okay, and this should be just about done. All right, so now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and paste in what I copied, which is not pasting in. Let's grab it again. There we go. I believe 18.04 Ubuntu comes with Python 3, the latest version, but we're just going to install it anyways. And there might be a later version when you guys are watching this. Okay, and then once that's done, we can start to set up our database. And we have everything here that we need to add. All right, so this is done. I'm going to just clear the terminal up. So now what we want to do is go into Postgres. Okay, now when you install Postgres, just like with the local installation, there's a default user called Postgres. So we want to log in as that. So we're going to say sudo -u. So we're just defining the user of Postgres. Okay, and then we're going to do PSQL. All right, now you can see that this has changed. We're now inside of Postgres. So we're going to create a database. I'm going to say create database. And you can call this whatever you want. I'm calling it BTRE_prod, semicolon there. Okay, so that should create a database. Now we want to create a user. We don't want to use the default Postgres user. I know we did that. Did we do that? Yeah, I think we did that in local development, but we don't want to do that in production. So let's say create user. Now this needs to be fixed over here. You can see I use DB user here. I think I just meant it as a placeholder. And then down here I use the user Django DB admin. I think that I'm just going to call the user DB admin because I think Django DB admin and then the user of the server, which is Django admin, I think that's a little confusing. So I'm just going to call it DB admin like that. Okay, and then we're going to give it a password. So with password, and I'm just going to give it a password of ABC123 exclamation. Okay, so let me just make sure that that's good. Yeah, and then we just want a semicolon. All right. So now we just want to alter some role. We want to just set up like the encoding and stuff like that, the time zone. So we're just going to copy this, although I'm going to change this to DB admin because that's what I use. So let's paste that in, and I'll change this. I'll change the markdown file for you guys, so you won't have this. You won't have to change this. Unless you want to use a different name, that's absolutely fine. So DB admin. Okay, let's grab this one. So let's see, we want DB admin. Again, this is all in the DigitalOcean documentation. DB admin. Okay, so now that all that stuff is set, we want to give the DB admin, we want to give them privileges to the BTRE prod database. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, except I'm just going to change the user to DB admin. So we're granting all privileges on the database, BTRE production or prod, to DB admin. And there we go. So now we can get out of Postgres by just doing a \q. So we want to quit out, and that's it. So now we have our database. It's as easy as that. So now we're ready to actually start our Django stuff. And just like we did on the local machine, we want to create a virtual environment on the remote server. Okay, I'm going to set the structure up a little different. What I want to do is I want to actually we need to install that. All right, so we're going to have a folder in our home directory called Pi Apps, because a lot of the times you'll have one server and you'll have multiple applications. You may have a PHP application, and you can route through Nginx or whatever. So I want to have a folder called Pi Apps, and then have our project folder in there. And the virtual environment is going to be in the Pi Apps folder, not in our actual project folder like it was in our local environment. Okay, and this stuff is optional. I mean, you can structure things how you want, but that's just how I prefer to do it. All right, so we'll get into this in the next video.